Right, so you can't touch it, you can't buy it, it costs nothing, but its value is priceless. Ikigai. Ikigai. It's the Japanese concept or philosophy of something that gives a person a sense of purpose or meaning in life. And it's now needed more than ever before. Now, trigger warning, some of this may sound like an attack on some of the things you do every single day. Doom scrolling, daydreaming, whatever. That's totally fine, that's good. It means there's probably somewhere in your life you can improve on, which is the whole point of Ikigai. If you're not offended, also good. It means you understand the model, and actually those things that you've always thought about may make a bit more sense because you can apply it to this great philosophy. What is it? So in 1960s Japan, it was perceived as adding to the good and benefit of society, being way less materialistic and more focused on self-improvement. That sounds pretty good, right? And you can't watch any news channel today, at any day of the week, where there isn't a report about someone who is clearly missing these Ikigai elements in their lives. So it might start with mindless scrolling on the phones. We all know someone that does that, and we probably do it ourselves to a certain extent. It might be that you're a chronic recluse and you feel misunderstood. Humans are naturally social beings, and we accelerate in the presence of motivated others. Unfortunately for some, they just haven't found their crowd. And don't forget, the internet should be an enabling tool in your life. It shouldn't be a tool to enable your life. Now, all the Japanese would have used Ikigai or thought of Ikigai in a more traditional sense, which was usually around the company and family. The Japanese are very, very proud, strict and disciplined people, and the thought of offense to anyone or causing anyone any sort of harm is completely counter to their culture. Younger Japanese today may see Ikigai or interpret Ikigai as more of a dream-chasing concept of philosophy. How great can the future be? What does the future hold? But it's not that complicated. It's not like sitting in a room and, meditating and, it may be that, but it's not that. In Japan, it's way more casual. It's said in daily conversations. You might hear someone say, "What is your Ikigai today?" In Japanese, right? And that person might respond with like, oh, my Ikigai today is going for a walk in the park. Or my Ikigai today is spending some time with the family. Or my Ikigai is paying off my debt. It's so frequently used in common parlance. I guess in the US you might say, "Hey, what's up?" And the person would respond. And I guess in Britain you would say, "Good morning, dear sir. What seems to be the problem?" I lie, but you get the point. It's conversational. The point is, it's a really casual concept, and it's also very personal to the individual. There is no right and wrong for your Ikigai. I wonder how many people are counting to see how many times I say Ikigai in this Ikigai video. Leave a comment below. It'll be fun to see how high we get. Now, of course, in the West, we've taken this wonderfully beautiful concept and modeled it and commercialized it. For you, let me tell you, you don't need to spend any money on an Ikigai practitioner. Just watch this video and you'll find out exactly what you need to do or the questions you need to ask yourself. This is a self thing. And to help with that, I've added a questionnaire in the description below. Just scroll down, and on your way down there, just go past the like button and the subscribe button and hit those, and then go and get your Ikigai questionnaire. So Ikigai is usually depicted in circles. Are you counting? Philosophy stands around 4 central pillars, but it's usually depicted in circles. And the questions that are asked in these 4 different circles are what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. That's it. The what you can be paid for part seems really Western to me. Probably not very traditional, but hey, I can't argue with it. It stands, so let's leave it. So what you love? Now I think about this question, and it's the kind of question you sit and just introspect over. You sit down and you just get all the noise out of your head. Don't worry about offending or upsetting people. It's a time to be really, really selfish. What do you actually love? Not for someone else, not doing something to make someone else happy. What do you actually love? And it's so personal. And it'd be trite for me to give examples, but I will try and cover a breadth of examples to try and see how broad this can be. Now, obviously, the first thing that springs to mind for most would be my children. My Ikigai is my children. I love looking at them every day, seeing them smile, develop, grow up, graduate, all that sort of stuff. And that's a really valid Ikigai, right? Equally, it could also be for that businessman in the city saying, "I love my job. I really love making loads of money." Now, you shouldn't criticize that because you don't know what the person's going to do with that money. It might be to be philanthropic and to charity and do great things. I was trying to sort of find a spectrum that couldn't be as more far apart. And I think, the love of your offspring and making money, which is a very Western civilization concept, they're probably about as far apart as you can get. What the world needs, it's kind of obvious. I mean, turn on any news channel any day of the week and you'll see what the world needs. It needs more, number one, it needs more love in it. At the minute, there's so many things going on, man. It's just, where do you start? I guess the name of this channel sort of illustrates where you start. Start with you, and once you've started with you and improved you, you can then build and spread that growth and ambition to others. But what the world needs right now, again, from your perspective, because it may be, you can look at it on a global scale, which is a big problem to solve, but equally you can look at it on a neighborhood scale, or even the road or street you live on. You know, what does your road or street need? I can't answer those questions for you. They are down to you to sort of, again, introspect and see how you can add some value. It could even be picking up some litter to make the world just a cleaner place. That would be huge. Recycling, you know, the list goes on. What you can be paid for. So this is a straight up side hustle question. There's so many videos on YouTube about what side hustle you should do, what side hustle works and all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. I did a video on why side hustles fail. There's a card there and you can watch that after this one. There's also nothing wrong with that. If you're going to do something, it's good that you're going to be paid for it, or you should be paid for it. The key, and what would be fantastic, is if you could be paid for doing the thing you love. That is a complete life hack. And if you do that, it's like getting paid for free, because you're doing something you love. You do it for free anyway, wouldn't you? And then finally, we've got the what you're good at. And these, again, you'll hear a lot of successful people talking about these kind of things more in a commercial sense, or using commercial language, but it makes perfect sense. Why would you do something that you're terrible at when you can do something that you excel at? I would not be a very good ballet dancer. I'm large, I'm heavy-footed, I'm probably not very delicate. And there are other people out there that are better for that. Similarly, I wouldn't be a great jockey. I'm too big. No, jockeys are tiny people. So there are certain things in life that, whether you want to or not, the industries that are out there, they're not discriminating against me. I'm just saying I understand that I wouldn't be good at those things. So you need to look at the things that you're doing now. Are you doing something now that you're not good at or you don't like? Because you should probably stop that and find something that you do like and that you definitely would be good at, and see if you can go back to the previous Ikigai steps. See if you can make some money from that. That'd be fantastic. And if you go back a step further, if you love that thing, you're completely in harmony and equilibrium with your life and the world. So can all this work? I think as we've gone through those 4 pillars and those 4 questions, I think, yeah, absolutely it can work. There are loads of people out there enjoying life to the full, seemingly with this endless smile on their faces. And I'm not talking about those fake Instagram accounts of people taking selfies next to private jets and rented cars. It's just nonsense. Don't worry about that bluff and bluster. This is about being true to yourself. And like I said, I've put a questionnaire in the description below. You can download that, you can fill it out to your heart's content, share it with other people. And don't forget, Ikigais can change. You know, just because you do it today and you feel, you know, this set of answers for this set of questions, you know, in a year's time, things change. You might feel very differently about some of those things. So just redo it and refocus yourself. The most important thing to do is to take action, because that action will build momentum, and it's the momentum that will take you forward to things that you couldn't even conceive of. And even better, do it with a friend. Like I said before, we accelerate around motivated others, and that person will pick you up when you're low, and vice versa. And that action starts with hitting the like button and the subscribe button right now. So I put my life Ikigai at the top of the description, so you can check that out and see what you think. But also, why not put your Ikigai, when you've thought about it and come up with it, in the comments below. Let's see how we all compare. It'd be fantastic to see how broad it is, and it might just inspire someone else. Now, YouTube is obviously saying you need to watch this video next, and who am I to argue? I think it's a great idea.